The fear that if people truly saw who they are beneath the performance, the masks, the roles, and the emotional protection, they might not be accepted. Welcome back to Beyond the Script. I'm Ali Christos, and today I want to talk to you about something I think quietly shapes so much of human behavior: the fear of being fully seen. Not just physically seen, but emotionally seen. Seen in your vulnerability, your truth, your imperfections, your emotions, your uncertainty, your needs, your authentic self. Because I think many people spend years carefully managing how they appear to others, while slowly losing connection with who they actually are underneath. I think most people consciously decide to hide themselves. I think many people adapt. They learn which emotions are acceptable, which parts of themselves receive love, which traits get approval, and which parts feel safer to suppress. So over time, people create versions of themselves designed for survival: the strong version, the successful version, the calm version, the funny version, the spiritual version, the version that keeps other people comfortable. And eventually, the mask becomes exhausting. I think underneath masking is often fear of rejection, fear of abandonment, fear of judgment, fear of being misunderstood, fear of not being enough. So people hide parts of themselves they believe might threaten connection: their sensitivity, their emotions, their struggles, their needs, their truth. But the difficult part is, the more people hide themselves to maintain connection, the lonelier they often become internally. One thing I've realized is that vulnerability is not just psychological, it's nervous system based. For many people, emotional exposure literally feels unsafe in the body, especially if vulnerability previously led to criticism, rejection, humiliation, emotional neglect, or instability. The nervous system learns it's safer to stay guarded. And later in life, people may deeply crave intimacy while simultaneously fearing being fully seen. I think modern culture intensifies this even more. People constantly curate versions of themselves online, carefully editing identities, carefully managing emotions, carefully controlling images. And over time, many people become disconnected from authenticity because they constantly perform a version of themselves for external validation. I've experienced this pattern myself at different points in life, trying to appear composed, trying to appear certain, trying to emotionally hold things together externally while internally navigating uncertainty, growth, or emotional struggle. And honestly, I think many people don't realize how exhausting it becomes to constantly manage perception. I think authenticity always involves risk, because the moment people begin showing their real emotions, real thoughts, real fears, or real needs, they risk not being fully accepted. But they also finally create the possibility for real connection, because connection built only around performance never fully satisfies the soul. I think healing often begins with slowly becoming safe enough to stop hiding, safe enough to express yourself honestly, set boundaries, feel emotions without shame, ask for support, speak your truth, and allow yourself to exist without constantly performing perfection. And honestly, this is not something people force overnight. It's something the nervous system slowly learns through safety, awareness, and self acceptance. One of the biggest realizations I've had is this: before people feel safe being fully seen by others, they often first need to become willing to fully see themselves, their emotions, their wounds, their patterns, their fears, their humanity. Because healing begins the moment people stop abandoning themselves internally. Maybe the deepest healing isn't becoming more impressive. Maybe it's becoming more real. If this episode resonated with you, I'd really appreciate it if you subscribed, left a review, or shared this with someone who may need it. And if you want to follow the journey, you can find me on Instagram at Beyond the Script Show. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you on the next episode of Beyond the Script.